in for such a treat. Like I've been like seriously uh like a kid in a toy factory, like waiting for Maya's class. And I got to know Maya through some posts that she posted on Facebook. And honestly, I don't know if someone sent it to me. I don't know if I like had stumbled across it. But she was writing about what was going on with Britney Spears. And I'd been watching the whole thing with Britney Spears, and I was just like, why is it such a big deal? Blah, 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 and kind of like throwing it away. And it kept coming. I kept feeling it in the field, and I was like, I don't know why this matters, blah, blah, blah. And then I read this piece that Maya wrote, and she wrote a couple of them. And the way that she was able to articulate how different archetypes are living through us and what can be expressed through one that is happening in our collective, and the way that she was connecting these dots and creating this exceptional constellation where I was able to go and see it and have real clarity and understanding about what was happening on the big field that really affected all of us through a very compelling narrative and story. I was like, who is this woman? I got to know her. And she was speaking with such fierceness and clarity. So as we met, oh my God, it feels like a million years ago now, Maya, to talk about her offerings and where would be the place to align, her gifts with our journey. We came to the third chakra. And so, what a great opportunity to be in the presence of fierceness as we come to the close of our relationship with our third chakra. And I'll just read a little bit of her bio. Maya Luna is an oracular poet and teacher of feminine wisdom. She teaches online and worldwide and is the creator of Deep Feminine Mystery School. Her work focuses on the resurrection of the lost feminine wisdom and the dimension of reality she calls the deep feminine current. She offers through the vessel of art, poetry, and spoken word wisdom teachings and embodiment practices focused on reconnecting human beings to the deep feminine current. She has one book of poetry, Omega, Feral Secrets of the Deep Feminine, and a spoken word poetry album, Holy Darkness, a tantric opus. Her second book of poetry album, Holy Grail, Her Resurrection, is set to release in April, right around the corner.
And it didn't. It's a delayed resurrection.
Delayed resurrection, perfection. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, I'm Maya Luna. I'm really excited to be here because I teach a lot. I'm a teacher, and I'm also a writer and a poet, and I've never taught writing before. So it's been a really juicy experience to kind of feel into what is writing for me and walk myself backwards through the steps of what I do, which I call oracular writing, oracular poetry. So what does oracular mean? Oracular to me is about listening with the body. Actually, it's a process of attuning the body to a field of listening and to what I have come to relate to as the voice, right? It's the voice that speaks to me, through me, and I'm just kind of like the meat puppet that's translating, right? So, I want to teach you all a couple of things and see if we can get inspired to connect to what I'm going to call your personal deva. So the devas are these, and it doesn't matter if you take this literally or symbolically or metaphorically, but what a deva is a deva is like a sacred being that is a symbol or a pure consciousness of a essence or a quality. So if you think of like the deva of love, if there was a being that was the emanation of pure love and the wisdom of pure love and the depth of primordial knowing of pure love, what would it be like to communicate with that deva? What do they know? And if there was a deva of passion, right, a sacred being, wisdom being, that was the emanation of pure passion, that knew all of the deep secrets of the primordial wisdom that is passion, what would it be like to communicate with that deva, right, and listen to what they know? So this process can become very, it's sort of where the personal and the transpersonal meet, you know? Because our voice and how we write and how we speak when we write is deeply personal and human, obviously. But we all have this transpersonal aspect to ourselves too. And that transpersonal aspect can connect to these other wisdom bodies, right? So oracular, who were the oracles? Does anyone know about the Pythia, the oracles of Delphi? So in ancient Greece, there were these women, right? They were called the Pythia. And their role in Greek society was to sit and basically channel the voice of truth, the voice of God, right? The voice of the ultimate. And so they would sit, and it was a very embodied practice. And they were kind of receiving this smoke that would rise up out of the earth, but it was like through their body, right? It sorted from the below, and then up and out. Very embodied practice. And so the seeker would come and ask a question, one question. And then the oracle would, right, orate the answer. And the answer often came as kind of a riddle or a poem, or it was a non-linear, non-logical transmission of wisdom, right? So I wanna explore and experiment with you all what it's like to commune with the voice. The voice of God, the voice of truth, right? And how our relationship to that voice and what I call the red energies. The red energies are passion, desire, longing, right? Like how it feels when you are like falling in love with a beloved, right? That passionate energy that arises in the body. What I find with this kind of writing is that the passionate energy that I feel, because remember, we're talking about an embodied process, right? Like really listening and feeling from the body and letting the words come from that place. The passionate energies can cut the mind, right? Which is often like the biggest obstacle when we write. You know, we get stuck in our head and then we're like second guessing and, you know, sort of becoming self-conscious about what we're writing. So the passionate energies, desire, arousal, devotion. And then I wrote survival here. I can't quite think of the right word, but it's like if you were fighting for your life, right? That passionate energy of the will to live, right? Like right on the razor's edge between life and death. What is that energy? So these are all energies that we can actually apply to our personal deva, to the voice. And not only not only do these passionate energies have the effect of kind of cutting through the mind or self-consciousness, I think what they also do is um, they open us up to communication with those wisdom voices, right? Because it's like, yeah, it's like with a lover when you're falling in love, and you are like pouring yourself, your sexuality, your love, your longing, your desire into a lover, and the kind of magic that opens in intimacy through that elixir, through that red energy. So that's a little bit of what my intention is to do today. I'm curious, as I shared all of that, like what's coming up for you? What gets touched in you? What feels inspiring? What feels like confusing? What's alive? Just in hearing all of this. Falling in love is a form of madness. It's like sacred madness. And that's what oracular writing is. They would go into these trance states and like temporary madness, right, to transmit the voice of wisdom. So yes, the mind is really great at being rational and logical, and yay, the mind. But there's this other intelligence and wisdom that we have access to that's very rich. So again, that's a really beautiful expression of the difference between the logical, rational mind and this crazy wisdom of the red energy and the feminine reality and the symbolic, poetic reality. Because, when you're given a riddle or an oracular transmission, it is like a koan. We all know what a koan is. Koan is a Zen phrase or saying that doesn't make sense. You can't really understand it, but it transmits wisdom through the chewing on it, through the receiving it, through the contemplation of it. Like it works you, right? It works you rather than you working it, you know? And that's actually another really powerful piece. I'm going to write that down to explore that today. What is the difference between, let me see if I can say this, between you taking the seat of the one that's in control, so you're kind of like dominating the writing, I'm doing the writing, and the writing working you. Mm-hmm. Right? The seat of the receiver, the seat of the one that is listening and receiving the wisdom message. Yeah. I think in the description of this course, one of the phrases that came to me was, what is it like to write like you're rock climbing with no rope? That's often the feeling that I have when I write. I mean, for me personally, writing is like a thunderstorm. It's like it just kind of whips in, and it's like grab a pen, grab a paper, and it's like if I think too much about what I'm doing and what's happening, it's gone. It's dead. I have to kind of be in the red energy, right? The red energy, passion, devotion, fear of death. That sounds very weird to say, but like there is that energy, and it's like survival, right? Like I have to get this. There's a urgency. There's arousal, devotion, longing. So is it intuition? I think we could say, sure, yeah, why not? I'm going to experiment. The reason why I'm going to teach you, or we're going to experiment and play with having a connection to the voice or the personal deva, is to actually impersonalize the writing. So is it your intuition? Yeah, sure, maybe we could say that, but I'm going to invite you to not think of it that way. That, again, I think the personalization, for me anyways, can bring out self-consciousness where I start to get in my own way. Whereas if I'm just in a conversation with the sacred other, even if that sacred other is actually me and an aspect of myself, who cares, right? It's we're gonna play with a relationality, right? As an other, something outside, something bigger, greater, wiser, deeper, more all-knowing, more omniscient than I am, that I am in love with, that I am in devotion to, that I am passionately, right, seeking. So I am the one that goes to the temple. I am the one that asks the question to the oracle. I am the one that bows down. Fear and excitement and arousal and longing and desire, and um, they're all very, very closely woven. And I think I also want to say that there's something here that we'll go into, which is like our own longing to know truth, right? I think that that's inside of every writing experience on some level. It's like the longing for truth. What is true? What is true? What is actually true, right? And that's why, like, when you read something true or you write something true, there's that, like, the gong, you know, everything kind of gets clear. And so that's the red energy also, is like my hunger, my longing for truth. And what that longing and that desire feels like in your body. It's really a lost art. And in my body of work, I do consider it to be a feminine art. Not meaning that it's for women, but that it's an embodied, like we have the capacity to experience information, not just from our minds. And that's a lost art, I think, on the planet, you know. What is it to listen with your feet, to listen with your pelvis, to listen with your belly, right? To allow information to be felt and experienced. There's a whole different dimension of intelligence that's available to us, that has a different quality to it than the mind. I think that the voice that comes through me when I channel in this way is an aspect of my soul. And the wisdom that comes through is often medicine for me, for my personal self. Not only that, but the energy, the passionate energy in the body is deeply personal. It's very intimate, right? There's really nothing more vulnerable than our own arousal, our own longing, our own yearning, our own, right? That passion. It's very, very intimate and vulnerable. It's embodied. The reason why, the only reason why, and this is something that you can discard if you want, the only reason I'm suggesting to frame what I'm teaching you in this impersonal way, this conversation with the voice, this conversation with the other, right? That's impersonal, is because I find, for me, That's how I get out of the way. Is it technically like totally personal and totally like the depths of my own soul and like so like yeah. Yeah, probably. So this is just what I find is part of the magic of how I get into the space. If I'm too like me, this is me, this is me, I'm going to get self-conscious. Let's all close our eyes for a moment. And I want you to imagine that your heart is the heart of an enlightened being. All knowing, all wise, all perfect being. What does that heart feel like? And now say to yourself, or at least say it at your own heart out loud, just in a soft whisper if necessary, and just say, not my will, but thine. Not my will, but thine. Not my will, but thine. Actually, say the words, not my will, but thine. 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 Fall into the words. Not my will, but thine. Let it be vulnerable. See if you can lean into the vulnerability. It's almost achingly vulnerable to appeal to this sacred other. Not my will, but thine. Not my will, but thine. And now just fall gently. See what happens if you kind of melt into the space. Just be available. What is it like to embody availability? All right, let's take a breath and just mark this space in your being, whatever this space is that has opened, subtle space. Mark it. You have a little bit of a map. And just chat like a word or two in the chat box of like what opened in that space? What is the texture of that space? How's that space subtly different than the state you were in prior? It's a little tiny micro practice. Conflicted. open to receive. Alive and full of possibility, held. Mhm. In my body, the release of something that allows the energy to move in my lower self. And then I felt a stagnation in my mind start to move. Nice. Spaciousness in the solar plexus. Curiosity. Curiosity is really good, really important, actually. Nice. So now what I would like you to do, we're going to just do one little thing and then take a bathroom break and then come in and really dive into the practices. What I want you to do is take your paper. I'm guessing you have paper in the writing class. And I'm just going to play really soft, soothing music. And my prompt to you, this is actually not like a writing exercise. What I want you to do is to just tune in to what your soul is the most hungry to know about life, about truth, about existence, about reality, about your personal life, about, the big questions, the little questions, the medium questions. What is it that you just authentically like are drawn to know? What is the truth that you are hungry to know? And just write maybe 3 or 4 of them and frame them as a question, like really as a question, just a 1 sentence question. I'm just going to give us like 6 minutes or something. What are the big questions that you are authentically hungry for the truth? Notice the purity of your desire for truth. When the oracle would speak, it was with the voice of authority. Absolute truth. Not halfway, not maybe, not this, oh, this perception, but this is just, this is the truth. Absolute authority. And you can imagine that to just sit there and open, right? Oracle, orifice, opening to receive. Oracle, opening, orifice. And to speak with absolute authority. There is a quality of insane trust. Trusting the present moment. Being willing to be a fool. Being willing to not make any sense. Just like a lover falling in love. Looking like a damn fool, but so fully in, so fully, yes. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to write each question at the top of a new piece of paper, right? Each page is a question. And I want you to do that twice. So go through all of the questions on the pages and then start from the beginning again. Do all of them. Does that make sense? So if you wrote 3 questions, you'll have 6 pages. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you wrote 4 questions, you'll have 8 pages. Mhm. It doesn't matter if the questions are from your head or your heart. Part of what we're experimenting with here is, right, so there's this funny thing about the mind, which is like it can never be really satisfied. You can never really feel fully confident in your mind. It's always going to question and doubt and wonder. And we're going to dig into a different place that is committed to the authority of what actually happens. Right. Can't wait to see what happens. I'm so excited. All right, so looks like people are still kind of finishing up, so I'll just wait. All right, so while people are doing that, kind of finishing up, I think you should just have all your pieces of paper ready to go. Right, so these questions are kind of like, this is you walking to the Oracle Temple with your question, you know. That sincere place in you that hungers to know, because I do think that that's where our drive to write comes from, no matter what kind of writing we do. Would you agree with that? I just kind of made that up on the spot right now. Yeah, I think we write because we want truth, you know. We want to feel truth, we want to know truth, we want to sink our teeth into truth. We love that experience when the writing is true, right? You feel the truth's true, you know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go through different embodiment practices, and um, part of what I'm doing here is I'm coming from an assumption that everyone's system works differently. Some things that work for some people don't work for some people. And so I want to, rather than give you like, this is the formula, we're going to do a bunch of experiments. And then you can kind of, play with like what really works for you, what your system really likes, what your channel really responds to. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. So have your first piece of paper ready to go. I can feel the nervousness. That's good. So notice the nervousness. Fear of getting it wrong, the excitement of getting it right, and actually lean into that right now. Like the quality of nervousness in the body is very vulnerable. It's very alive. And whatever texture of nervousness or excitement you feel right now, I'm just kind of reading the field. I can feel it in the space. I want you to use your breath to sip on the sensations. Slowly, like you're savoring the most exquisite meal. Instead of trying to conquer or turn away or hide from this, like really lean in and say, yes, there's an aliveness and an excitement, even in the fear. Sip, savor, receive. I'm going to say a prayer. We trust that we don't have to make anything happen. We trust that we don't need to be the one in control. We trust that all we need to do is listen, 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 listen. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes and make sure you're sitting up straight. And also make sure that your chin is level to the ground. So you're not like reaching your head up, your face up. You're level and even maybe slightly down with your chin. So you can really feel your body. And I want you to relax all the muscles in your face. So let go of all facial expressions. And even let the bottom lip just slightly open so your lips are slightly parted. If you could surrender the mask of your face completely, no facial expressions, nothing to present, nothing to show, nothing to prove, just letting it all go. And let your belly drop now. Really soften your belly from deep inside. Let go of any clenching or holding or pulling in of your belly. Allow your belly to be round. And now I want you to feel and sense into the back of your body. So, really feeling the space in the back of your head. And the back of your heart. And the back of your pelvis. There's all this depth to your body. There's all this space in the back of your body. And I want you to really experiment with letting go of the surface of yourself and resting back like you're sitting in your own throne. There's all this presence in the back of your body that you can just rest and sink into. You are being held. Letting go of the surface and resting in the deep, resting in the back body. Feeling and sensing for this presence that you can rest into, that's right here holding you. Your belly can be offered over to this presence. Your facial expressions can melt into this presence. You can lean back and sit and rest into this presence. And now taking one deep breath into your feet. So breathe into your feet and exhale from your feet. Breathe into your legs and exhale from your legs. As though your legs had a breath inside of them that they could breathe. Breathe into your hips and exhale from your hips. Keep letting go of your face. Yeah. Breathe into your pelvis and your sex and exhale from your pelvis and your sex. Breathe into your belly and exhale from your belly as though there was a breath inside of your belly that you could breathe. And it is breathing you. Let a breath from your heart and your chest all the way to the back of your heart. Breathe all the way in and then exhale from your heart. Be totally committed to this breath. Why not be a fool? Breathe all the way into your neck and your throat and exhale from your neck and your throat. Let go of your eyes and your jaw. Breathe into your whole head and your brain and the back of your skull. And exhale from your head. Good. Now a whole body breath. Breathe in with your whole body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. And exhale from your entire body. Good. Okay, now I want you to feel into your belly. Just get curious about the space inside of your belly, feeling and sensing into that space. Not looking at it with your awareness, but feeling the inside. And I want you to feel what curiosity feels like. And let that curiosity extend all the way up to your heart, your torso. What is the felt sense of curiosity? Now go deeper. What does curiosity feel like in your body? Now take it up a notch even further and feel what wonder and awe feels like. You can direct your wonder and your awe at your own breath or at the blackness of space behind your eyes. But just feel and sense, what does curiosity and wonder feel like? Find the energetic and let yourself just fall into it a little bit. The felt sense of curiosity in your body. And now go to your first question. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Falling into curiosity, falling into wonder. Be fascinated. Keep feeling curiosity in your body. Okay. Stop. Finish your sentence. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Shake, 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 shake your body, 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 shake your hips. Woo, not just your head. All right. Good, 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 good. Okay. Close your eyes again. Okay, this time, this time I want you to, so look at me. I want you to start making a circle. with your whole body. Let it come from your pelvis. So you're kind of, the movement originates from down low. Feel what feels good about this, like the kind of trance. What happens when you let go into just the energy of the circle? Good. And you can go fast or slow, whatever really feels good to you. You can go either direction. Just follow what feels good. Okay, now I want you to go smaller. So really little circles. And I want you to go to the next page of your question, and I want you to never stop circling while you write. This is going to be really interesting for some of you. Don't stop circling the entire time you're writing. Feel the sensation of that goodness. First. Be a fool. Wild. Good. Into your body. Body, body, body. Right. Shake it off, 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 shake it off. Okay. Right. Closing your eyes again. And I want you to connect to the Deva of wisdom, as though there was an angelic being that you have a direct phone line to. that's right here with you, that is the emanation of pure wisdom. What does pure wisdom feel like? The voice of truth, the voice of knowing, the voice of wisdom, absolute truth. And notice where that deva is. Is it in front of you? Is it above you? Is it to the side of you? Is it behind you? Is it inside of you? Wherever it is, just notice the relationality. And I want you to feel your own longing to know this truth, to taste this wisdom. Your sincere longing. And when you tune into that in your body, what do you feel? Where does it arise? Is it a sharp? Is it a swirling? Is it a bursting? Is it an opening? Is it an aching? Where is it in your body? And I want you to just breathe in, like really say yes to those sensations of that longing. Maybe it makes you want to weep. Maybe it makes you furious. The longing for the truth. The longing to know. And I want you to just direct the energy towards this deva of wisdom, as though you were pleading, begging, show me, tell me. Stay with the energy in your body of that longing, that wanting, that yearning to know. Go to the third page, third question. No, I want to know, I want to know. Keep coming back to the sensation of that longing in your body, the longing to know truth as a sensation in your body. Finishing up. Shake it off, 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 shake it off. Ooh, people are really staying with this one. That's interesting. Okay. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Let it all go. Remember, this is all about your body, 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 body. All right. So stay on the thread of that longing. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to remember a time in your life when you were so wildly hot for a lover, like just, I cannot get enough of you. I want to smell you. I want to taste you. I want to touch you. I want to hold you. I want to feel you. I want to make love to you. I want to know everything about you. Close your eyes and I want you to feel inside your body. Remember what the feeling felt like when you were just so in love, so desiring of this person. Like, I cannot get enough of you. I want to know everything about you. I want to dive into you. I want to smell you. I want to taste you. I want to hold you. I want to do everything with you. Okay, so notice the feeling in your body. Let go of the memory and just notice what the sensation is in your body right now. In your heart, in your sex, in your pelvis, in your belly, whatever the sensation is, use your breath to breathe it in. Like, say yes to it. Okay, fill up with it. Let yourself get a little high from it, right? Breathe it in. Let go of the memory, let go of the person, and stay with the feeling now. Breathe it in. This is your passion. This is your Shakti. This is your devotion. This is your love right here. Breathe it in. I want you. I can't get enough of you. I want to know everything about you. I'm so inspired by you. We'll open to the next question. 3 minutes. Stay with that energy of deep desire for the beloved. Stay with the feeling in your body. Love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Good. Listen to the feeling in your body. Listen to the feeling in your body. Shake it off, 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 shake it off. Ah. Woo! Just be a fool, be a fool, be a fool, be a mad person, be a crazy, mad one. Ah. Drunk on the wine of life. All right, this is going to be the last one, so we have space to share. Closing your eyes. Let's go back into the original practice and really resting into the back body. This is how we get into the position of receiving rather than doing, really by being in the back of our body. And letting go of the face and letting go of the lips and the mouth. Start to feel like this moment can touch you. You don't have to do this moment. Let this moment touch you right now. You are being touched by this moment. Receiving this moment. Let something else come and meet you. Now I want you to imagine that you are listening to music that is like 10 miles away. There's this beautiful music playing in the far, 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 far distance. And you have to really listen to hear it. And it's not just your ears that are listening, it's your heart that's listening. And your belly that's listening. What does it feel like to listen to that music far away? You can barely hear it. You have to really listen. What is the posture you have to take inside to really listen? And imagine that that music is the voice of God, the voice of truth, the voice of absolute authority, absolute authority. And it's so far away, you have to really open, really listen. Last question, here we go. body. Listen with your toes and with the ears inside your belly. Not my will, but thine. 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 Let yourself finish up this piece. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks to the perfection of this moment. We give thanks to that which is already done and could not ever have been any other way, and therefore is absolutely perfect as it is. Perfect truth, perfect knowing. Leah.
This course, what you're bringing us, I'm having this memory of as you were talking, and one time sitting with Paul Hawken. And if you guys know who Paul Hawken is, he's a writer who has a very, very, very healthy relationship to his ego. This is a very commonly thing known about him. And I was trying to figure out how to get something that I was writing out into the world. And I was very early on, and I was very like I was like all I did was listen, like it was gifted to me. And he said, "You know how my books are written? I write my books. I'm the one that gets my butt in the chair every day, and I'm the one that writes them."
Mm.
And I felt like there's an alchemy between the two of like what it is to be the channel that receives the gift, and then what it is to be the person who's got that, who gives their life force energy to giving that gift to someone else.
Mm.
And Maya, I think that you do that. You're exceptional at catching and creating the space to receive it, but then you do give it. And
Mm.
like they're not always like they're provocative, what you write.
Mm.
And so I was curious if you could speak to your process between like how do you come up with the courage? Like where do you source your energy? Like how do you connect that part of you? Yes, I receive it and give your life force and the courage that it takes to put it out
Mm.
there.
It's because I'm in love with it, you know? It's really because I'm in love with it. Like I am so enraptured. I am so obsessed and like in awe and in love with the words, you know? I think that the passion, I mean, and I know everyone's system is different, but for me, the passion is the thing. It's like, that's why I keep giving the analogy of falling in love, because it's like, we've all done some like really foolish thing. Your courage is like off the roof when you're in love. It's like, sometimes in a way that's irrational and fool, but like you can't help it because you just are like enamored. So I think like that's always what I'm tracking in the process of listening for a piece that wants to come through and the courage to write it is I'm always tracking my own like turn on, like my own I love you. Like I love poems. I love when they come through. I love what they say. I love what's inside of them. I just like, you know, I think that's, yeah, the passion is where the courage arises from.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
I think we're coming around the bend to the very last moments that we have together, and using this time to anchor in what it is that we are walking away with, what's been awakened and enlivened. Um, what do you want to anchor in? What did you receive today, and what do you want to amplify for yourself and for all of us? I'm so taken by the stillness and the quiet in our field and the spaciousness to allow what wants to emerge in its own time. And I feel the real gift of that, Maya. And I feel your power and your potency and your play and your delightful sexuality and love affair with the creative process and the invitation to really connect that eros to our passion with
Yeah.
the oracles, and I really appreciate those pieces being woven in this ancient practice that we're bringing back into a daily expression of life.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
And Maya, how do we get to stay in touch with you? What else are you creating? We know that you've got a book coming out soon. How can we get involved in all the offerings that you have to give? I know that you have your own mystery school. Yeah, how do we
Um,
stay connected?
I'm kind of like in a tranced out.
You can also just send us links.
Who
You can
am
pass
I?
us an
What am
email.
I doing? Deep Feminine Mystery School is my website. And I'm on Spotify, my poetry album. I've got another one coming out soon. I've got embodiment practices on Spotify. They're not specifically designed for writing, but I think that they totally apply because in essence what I was offering here is how when we get in our bodies, we have access to truth in a very different way than when we're in our heads. So Spotify, Maya Luna, poetry album, embodiment practices album. Those are probably really yummy ways to plug in.
Amazing. Thank you.